Hello again. This is part two, I guess. I'm very curious on how this thread's going to continue because something doesn't want the message to get out. The weirdest thing just happened that shut down the whole system. I don't even know how it happened. Like, there's no way. But whatever. Now I'm really determined to get this message out. So listen up. All right. So we're with ascendancy and discovery. Now you're dedicated, like I said. Now you're excited about what's to come because you're like, let me see how I can use these new skills. The treasure, you found the treasure. Persevere through trials and initiations, and you found the treasure. This is a sanctuary that is your inner throne, I want to say. You discovered what was hidden within. Awakening, radical shift in perception. Yes, exactly what I was saying before. It flipped your perception, which flipped the way you thought, which flipped, sorry, the way you seen things and the way you acted. All right, so you have the road, obstacles and uncertainty for immense growth, wisdom and connections to authentic self. Your inner treasure, your inner sanctuary. You took the road, led to awakening and rebirth, allowing you to escape, break free of limitations, liberation, shed shackles that bind us. Guardian, obstacles, challenge, test to wisdom. This is the gatekeeper. So you're working, once you get through this process, this is where you began in the dark night. Now you're in the now moment, how to integrate your new wisdom, your new knowledge. And then you get to this guardian. So you're about to level up. Like this is in the near future. This rebirth gives you the escape. I don't even want to use the word escape because that is not what you did. You earned this. Shed the shackles that bound you. Seen through the bars, got out. Now you're at this gatekeeper. You're about to unlock a whole new level. Atonement again at the bottom of that deck. All right, so let's see what's going on. You got the Two of Pentacles, balance, adaptability, embracing the challenge. Knight of Cups, driven by emotions, intuition, pursuing endeavors, seeking emotional fulfillment. This will also be a narcissism card. We'll see. All right. King of Cups. Okay, well, the King of Cups has emotional depth and wisdom. They can't be moved emotionally. They're sitting on a solid foundation. Someone given this offer to you. And the Magician. Okay. Manifestation. The meeting of the physical and the spiritual realms, which we're in the spiritual. Now we're going into the physical with this read. Six of Cups, nostalgia, innocence, longing for the past, emotional healing. All right, all right, all right. Page of Swords. Okay, someone from the past is watching, listening, learning, wants knowledge about you, maybe, about your situation, maybe how you got through that. someone you've known for a long time is what I'm getting. Like they know your wounds. Hmm. Five of Swords. Okay. Um, Feeling defeated in conflict over this magician energy with the King of Cups. Okay, all right. So this is what I'm getting. When you're going through your process, taking off those rose-colored glasses and all that, that's an inner process. So you go within, you're in your temple, you're doing your work, you're watching, you're observing. Because remember, you took off the rose-colored glasses. But to the outside world and to the people around you that are used to you acting and being a certain way, they see it as like you're hurt, you're kind of like a beat puppy dog, because inside, you're not yourself because you're trying to actually find yourself. So they seen you juggling, and they thought you needed their help, or they moved in. They were coming in acting like they're offering something. But like I said, for some reason, narcissism came out when I pulled that card. But they're offering a cup to the King of Cups, which I believe is your energy with this magician. You got the emotional intelligence because you just went through a process. They think you're weak because they know your past traumas. And they're watching what you just did because you're the magician. Like I said, right now you're in the unknown and embarking on your hero's journey. And they're noticing that you didn't get triggered from these past traumas. Like whatever triggered you to go into that dark night, it was probably, usually it's pain, some type of pain, betrayal. That's what triggers it. And I think this Knight of Cups did it, or they watched someone else do it, or your reality put you in this dark period and they thought you were weak and they came in with this cup and you weren't weak. You were in your power. More power. Way more power. And now they're in the Five of Swords energy just from watching what you're doing. You're transmuting and they're like, how in the hell is that person doing that? Ooh. They're in the Four of Pentacles. Why is this person... whatever. Okay, well, somebody's watching you do this. They're listening, they're learning. But they're not trying to learn for the right reasons, They're trying to learn so that they can mess with you. And they're realizing they can't. No matter how much conflict, disagreements, or how much loss you go through, your emotional intelligence is turns you into a magician. And now they're in fear. They're in fear. That's Pentacles. So they're going to lose something. They're scared they're going to lose something. Okay. With the Two of Pentacles, that's the Four of Wands, community, home, successful, period, celebrated, stability. They're seeing you balance all this. And then with the Knight of Cups, the narcissist that I seen, last and final judgment, spiritual awakening, self-reflection, karma. Ooh. They know. They know that they did something. They know that they're the cause of something emotional happening to you. Whether it was loss, betrayal, whatever, they know that they're responsible for a chain of events that happened to you. They see you celebrating in balance while you're in that darkness. You were celebrating, you were in harmony, you were stable, and you were balancing, you were adapting. And that scared the hell out of them. They know that you see them. This lady with her glasses, just the way the reflection is, and her head's tilted up, like, I see you. I see it all. It's funny because I was talking about rose colored glasses. She's still got her glasses on, but she sees clearly. Oh, yeah. Okay, Five of Pentacles, you shut them out in the cold. You cut them off. You froze them out. And calmly. That's a power that you tapped into. Like, you have empathy, but at the same time, you have emotional intelligence to shut that off. And you did. With the Magician, you got Nine of Cups. Fulfillment, abundance, wishes come true, desires realized, emotional balance again. On top of the Awakening card, they didn't have a chance. What they did, whoever this Knight of Cups is, they tried to destroy you for some reason, and they actually gave you your strength. And that scares the hell out of them. They don't know how you did that. They're so confused. Six of Pentacles with Six of Cups. Your generosity from let's see. That's on top of the road. Oh, your wishes are coming true with your magician energy. You're getting back like what you gave emotionally as far as love and guidance and support and all that. I'm feeling like Empress type energy. All of that you've given, your true essence, you're being rewarded on a material level for that in some way. Your wishes are coming true. Two of Wands. Yep, the Page of Swords was watching. They're watching to see how everything was unraveling for you and trying to figure out how in the heck you did what you did. Two of Wands, planning, decision, taking initiative, strategize. They're planning. They're watching and listening, trying to plan something. Planning to create more illusions. Or watching you strategize these illusions, conquering the illusions, seeing the illusions. Yeah, because I don't see them, that Page of Swords, I see them in fear. I think this is you. They're watching you strategize to work through the illusions of all this, of defeat and loss and, all that fun stuff. Four of Pentacles, the Chariot, the fear of loss and your victory over your obstacles. They're in fear that you're going to. I just said in fear that you're going to see through these illusions, and that's exactly what's happening. They started this. So in a way, be grateful. I mean, you see them for who they are, whoever they are. I don't see Ten of Pentacles or Ten of Cups, so I don't know if this is family or just... Yeah, it has to be someone that you've known since childhood. Ace of Wands on top of your Four of Wands. You're celebrating the start of a new chapter. Raw energy of passion and potential. You got the Sun on the karma with that Knight of Cups. Clarity. They're exposed. You see them. And this is way early on in this experience. You've seen them. Yep, you cut them out in the cold with temperance. Complete and total balance of the physical and the spiritual. They can't pull on your heartstrings. You're not under that illusion anymore. The Emperor on top of the Nine of Cups with Magician. You're grounded, you're strategic, you're sitting in your authority. You awaken to your authority. That's what happened. You took, this is like the now moment, the center point. You're sitting in your authority. You're making your wishes come true because you're manifesting them. You did the work. Queen of Cups with Six of Pentacles and Six of Cups. Again, emotional maturity, intuition, empathy, healing, understanding. That's what I said. You're getting rewarded for all of that you've given. Your innocence. Whatever lies this Knight of Cups, Page of Swords was doing to manipulate your environment, it didn't work. Your past proves who you are. How you reacted, I mean, even with the rose-colored glasses on, you're still giving and loving and had empathy for people. All right, Two of Wands with that Page of Swords. Deep connections, choice and options, matters of the heart with the Lovers. That's a choice. Strategizing, matters of the heart. Making choices with that Two of Wands, taking initiative. Four of Cups, the illusions with the Five of Swords. You're not accepting the illusions. You're not accepting the mental fuckery. You're not... They missed out on an opportunity. And that scares the shit out of them. Eight of Wands with that Chariot. These are quick, fast changes. Like I said, you're at the Gatekeeper. You're getting to the Gatekeeper. That's your next step. Because you pass these tests. And that's their... They didn't want you to do that. For some reason. I don't know why it bothers them. Ten of Cups. There you go. Emotional fulfillment and contentment. Deep connections and peace. While they are throwing all this shit at you, You transmuted it, and you still have your Ten of Cups, Ace of Wands, Four of Wands. With the Sun, you have the Star. Recovery, guidance, faith, renewal, hope, healing. You healed from this Knight of Cups. You healed from whatever shit they threw at you. You took it, you transmuted it. Pure magician energy. The universe has your back. And they're the ones that shine this. The sun was shining on their karma. Their, what was hidden, what they were hiding. The inner workings of the BS. With temperance, you have the moon. Intuition, hidden truth, face fears and illusions. Yeah, you face the fears, you face the illusions, and you froze the BS out. The moon with the sun right there. Balance. You got Eight of Cups with the Emperor. Spiritual quest. Releasing those emotions that kept you from your quest. You're in control. You have authority now. You set up these boundaries. That's what you're doing right now. This is in the center of the read. So the high priestess with the Queen of Cups. Knowledge, awaken, intuition, spiritual insight, sitting in your power, spiritual quest. It's in the now moment with the magician. Magician and the high priestess. The emperor, the Queen of Cups, right here in the center. Okay. This King of Wands could be this Knight of Swords. I'm feeling that. Matters of the heart. Strategizing. Taking an initiative. Having insight on this King of Wands. I'm getting a... Yep. They're watching and learning, trying to figure out how to strategize your emotions to make you feel discontent, the longing, like you missed out on opportunities because you stuck up for yourself. Didn't work. I mean, it made you go within. It definitely did that. But you found your inner guidance within your inner world, and you got your wisdom from it. Mom. Yeah, these illusions that this, I believe it's this King of Wands, they're watching so that they can figure out how to use these illusions to twist your heart to get the outcome that they wanted. They were messing with your emotions with this Knight of Cups over here. That's how they came in. It didn't work. You transmuted it. You were too smart. You took off those glasses. You seen them clearly. And because of how quickly this all unraveled for them, now they're in the Nine of Swords. They have a sense of dread. They're in a self-imposed prison. They're in fear of who you are. For some reason, they didn't want you going through this gate. I don't know if they knew about it consciously or whatever. This energy was trying to keep you from going through this rebirth so you couldn't make it to the gate. You blew through their things like it was nothing. Yeah, now they're getting their karma. That karma came in right here when you were happy and stable within your darkness. That was their karma, is to watch that. Watch you dismantle the illusions that they set up for you. Let's get a closing message. You're on the right path. Freedom, like I said, when I was doing the shuffling, I heard the word freedom. You're freeing yourself. And when you do that, you take off like a rocket. Okay, any closing messages, please? Making peace. Profound, genuine, taking a risk. In the midst of adversity lies the path to self-discovery. That's what you just went through. Now you're making peace, and that knight's on the cliff, kind of like the full energy. You see your goal in the distance. You know what you're working for. Feathered omens. Even the sweetest birds harbor fierce intentions, self-deceit, illusion, and secrets. You're making peace with everything that you learned. You didn't allow it to defeat you. When you seen the illusions that were put around you by, this is someone you cared for, they were in your life for a long time. You didn't allow it to defeat you. You used it as your power. Okay. Whoa. Way too many cards, but we got addiction, healing, liberation, and support. Compulsive needs, despite negative consequences, get support and therapy. That's what those illusions kept you in the cycle of. Having hope, grace, kindness, and self-care. Navigate your shadows with compassion and gentleness, and that's exactly what you did. You seen, all the deceit, all the illusions, and then you didn't hate on yourself, basically. Because now you've seen all the red flags that were there, and you just overlooked them because you wanted to see the best, You don't feel bad about how you handled that. You had a pure heart through that whole situation, and that's on them. That's why they get karma, and that's your judgment call. Divine juggling, progress, inner harmony. Master different aspects of yourself, both light and dark. That's what you did. Flexibility, resolve, and growth. Perseverance. Unmasking the truth. Self-examining and revelation. Okay, it's just repeating what we went through. So that's amazing, guys. Like, I feel so proud of you. That's a hard feat. A very hard feat. And you did it. Like, so much power is coming to you. Power, balance, everything. You're on the right path. You're at the gate. Okay? So keep doing what you're doing. Till next time, catch you on the flip side.